Well, I wanted to say a few words regarding Iran today. The whole ratcheting up of pressure against Iran. And I suppose, anyone who has been following these events, it's pretty clear who's behind this, namely the United States and Israel do not want Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. Now, unqualified opinion here, basically. This is just my take on it. And I suppose I should say that at the conclusion. So let's start with yesterday's events, okay? So here we go again. There is basically a clandestine operation going on against Iran's nuclear program, and has been going on for some time. And so now we have another Iranian nuclear scientist assassinated. And scrolling through the news stories today, it's very interesting to see that most of the Western media calls this, basically it calls it a killing rather than murder or an assassination. One has to ask oneself what would happen if some clandestine spy agency came over here to the United States and started assassinating our scientists, and how that would be regarded by the U.S. government. In other words, we're talking about a policy of targeted assassinations. And I'll link several articles. For one thing, I read Tikun, the Tikun blog this morning, and this is basically a liberal Jewish website here in the United States. And that site is totally against any aggression against Iran, I might add. And sources were mentioned from within Israel that this is, without a doubt, a Mossad operation. And what's been going on is that the Israeli intelligence service has been recruiting, opposition groups within Iraq, namely in the in Kurdistan, to work against, basically to recruit these people to sabotage anything that's going on in Iran. I'm not I'm really worried about this escalation of hostilities, basically, because we're at a hair trigger here at this point, and any kind of incident can set off a major regional war, another one in that region. So yeah, everything is kind of going to plan. The neocon plan, which was basically to control the resources in that entire area. So regarding this assassination, okay, let me just point out, basically another Iranian scientist, nuclear scientist, was assassinated yesterday. This was done via an explosive device, so it was not an accident. And needless to say, of course, the Iranians are blaming the Israelis and perhaps the United States for direct involvement in this. And I would say their assessment is probably correct. What is troubling is that this is an ongoing campaign and has been so since 2007. And so let me just remind everyone what has been going on since then. And I got this information from the Telegraph in the UK. basically, they're saying the steady drumbeat of killings has claimed the lives of 5 Iranian nuclear scientists since 2007, along with the head of the country's ballistic missile program. Meanwhile, other senior figures have simply disappeared. So they have this whole list of scientists here in that article, and I'll try to link to that. Professors and researchers and so on, all of them basically killed. And I think the biggest question for me is this. Now, this is my personal belief in terms of what Iran is trying to do. There's absolutely no proof that Iran is doing any weapons development in terms of a nuclear bomb. But personally, I believe that they are trying to do that. But the bigger question is, what if they actually developed such a weapon? They are essentially surrounded by other countries who have these weapons. And does anyone really seriously think that if Iran developed nuclear weapons, let's say, they get a small stockpile, I mean, nothing in comparison to Israel, of course. Let's say, they 10 years from now, or even shorter than that they have, 10 nuclear warheads or something. And as far as we know, they don't have any intercontinental ballistic capabilities, but certainly, medium range. Does anyone really believe that if Iran actually had those weapons, and if they launched a weapon against their arch enemy, which is Israel, that Israel would not immediately retaliate and completely wipe out their entire nation? And and if you go that far, do you really believe that the Iranian leadership is stupid enough to do such a thing? I don't even think the mullahs, the religious people over there who are running the show, are this crazy. Now, some people obviously believe that they are. I don't believe so. So, this entire thing just is very worrying, because this can escalate very, very quickly, and another major war in the Middle East is not what the world needs, because this kind of a confrontation could actually lead up to World War III. So things need to be de-escalated on all sides. On all sides.